Well, hello there. Mark Risen-Hopkins here. I'm a cryptocurrency and blockchain enthusiast who's been studying and learning about the space since 2011. Today on the show, we're diving into an intriguing conversation between Tiffany Fong and G-Lock, shedding light on some of the darker and more controversial aspects of the crypto world, including disparities in sentencing guidelines and the unique experiences of those entangled in high-profile crypto cases. Join me as we explore the nuances of justice, redemption, and the human side of headlines in this captivating episode. If you're dialed into the crypto Twitter scene, you'll probably come across Tiffany Fong, the crypto journalist who's been everywhere since the FBF saga. Tiffany Fong is a 28-year-old social media maven, YouTuber, and crypto investor from the New York City area who first made waves in the crypto world after losing $250,000 stored on her Celsius account. This loss fueled her drive to uncover scams in the crypto market. Known for her boldness and sharp wit and insightful coverage of the investor market, her YouTube and Instagram channels have only grown in fame. She has grown in fame herself after her interviews with the FTX founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, and others in the space that are connected to his case. He is in MDC Brooklyn awaiting his sentencing. So this interview that we're going to talk about today is with G-Lock, who's the latest in the series of conversations she's had. G-Lock was a friend of Sam Bankman-Fried's in the unit where they were together in MDC Brooklyn, where Sam is awaiting sentencing. Like I said, G-Lock is a former member of the Bloods gang in New York. He served a 5-year prison sentence as part of a gang indictment and has since stepped away from gang life. While incarcerated, he was known for his protective stance towards Sam Bankman-Fried. Now G-Lock is focusing on his rap career. He's only been out for about 15 days, I believe, and he's under the management of Gene Borello and is committed to staying out of trouble and making a positive impact with his music.
People always ask me, like, did Sam ever pressure you? Because I'd go to Sam's house and people were like, did he like try to pressure you into doing anything, etc. But Sam is nothing but fucking respectful. If anything, he's timid. He's shy.
Right.
He would never.
Exactly.
That's.
So this is, yeah, they spent a lot of time kind of, and we'll see this in some of the other clips, talking about the personality of Sam Bankman-Fried, which was unique because he's presented as kind of like this, you know, dark villainous character, like almost like a comic book villain in the media, in the press, because he did harm a lot of people through his actions. But he's not that guy when it comes. He's not Lex Luthor inside. And he's certainly not Lex Luthor in his day-to-day life. He's like he said elsewhere, he doesn't make eye contact. I don't even know if that's part of one of the clips that we have. I just remember that from the interview. G-Lock is like, how the fuck can you sentence somebody to life in prison if he can't even make eye contact with the guy? Like, he's just really a danger to society. And this is you're gonna hear that come up in some of the other clips as well, as the idea that, you know, he's locked up with major cartel figures. He was in a notorious criminals unit, you know, so up there in Brooklyn. And G-Lock got out after 5 years for violent crimes that he was convicted for. And Sam Bankman-Fried is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Not saying he's innocent of his crimes, although G-Lock makes that assertion later on in the interview as well. But is life in prison truly justice for SBF?
I will say that I'm not going to call Sam innocent. He was convicted, and I'm not going to say he is or not is not.
Well, listen, we hear from G-Lock Live. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know he's innocent. You know, y'all bugging now. For real, y'all really bugging. For real, free Sam Bankman. Y'all bugging. You know?
This guy's gonna single-handedly start the free SBF.
Boy go home.
Yeah, let my boy go home, man. Like,
you know what to do, Biden.
yeah, like you know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, but people say like what he did is worse than people who kill someone because a lot of people might have killed themselves. And I'm like, do you seriously not see a fucking difference between actually murdering someone and it's horrible if someone killed themselves?
How can you even compare that?
This is I mean, this is an interesting point. So like everybody is innocent in prison in their own minds, right? I mean, without a doubt, I was locked up with 500 innocent men. I think there is the viewpoint that you're seeing G-Lock represent there is something that I encountered myself. Because you go through the whole process of whenever you're accused of a crime, and then you have to kind of prostrate yourself before the judge at sentencing to appear contrite. Even if you feel like the system kind of screwed you, you still have to like, I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again, whatever I did. And so I kind of had got myself locked up and kind of convinced myself that it wasn't a political prosecution, that it wasn't out of bounds. And then, you know, I'm locked up with a variety of people, but a lot of people like like G-Lock, who's look, man. I mean, some of them, I don't know what G-Lock would say this, but a lot of them that I were locked up with, like, yeah, I kind of deserve to be here. Like, I didn't do what they say I did, but I was involved in crime. You know, I did criminal things. You know, this has just happened to be what put me in prison. It boggled their minds that with me in my case that there was no aggrieved parties. I just didn't fill out a piece of paper that I was locked up, and it certainly boggles their mind in the case of SBF, where I don't know that this was necessarily the case during the majority of the time when he was locked up, but it certainly is the case now because of the way the market has risen since the collapse of FTX, that it's very possible that the investors who, quote unquote, lost their money in FTX are actually going to get more money out than what was in there from a dollar's perspective. So the idea that there are no aggrieved parties, even in SBF's case, is actually, you can actually say that there's some validity to that. Certainly he didn't commit violent crimes. Certainly he didn't harm society to the level that a lot of people that we say should be locked up do. Yet he is very likely going to see a sentence that puts him behind bars for the rest of his natural life.
I think it's fucked up. I think I think we focus on the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's worse things going on in this world.
Well, people get really mad at this sentiment, saying that you don't think that Sam should get life in prison because people say, well, Sam stole X amount of money. It was billions of dollars. It's a huge amount of money. So people say, well, some people might have lost their life savings. They might have killed themselves.
Honestly, Sam didn't even know he was stealing. He didn't know what he was doing was illegal.
So this is the argument that he made,
exactly
that this is I've had this discussion so many times with people on the inside and the outside, right? So we're supposed to be this legal principle of mens rea, where there has to be intent to steal for it to be called theft. And then there's also this trope that is trotted out by judges and internet debaters quite often, which is, ignorance of the law excuses no man. So according to Sam, if we believe Sam's side of the story, and either he has deluded himself into believing the side of the story because he's even convinced the people and he's locked up with, or he actually believed it. It doesn't really matter. His line is that I vetted all of my activities through my lawyers. My lawyers said, what you're doing is okay. There's not a problem. If that is in fact the case, if there is no intent to commit fraud, even though fraud is committed and you vetted it through the lawyers, are you culpable for the losses that are incurred, criminally and civilly?
I used to ask him questions like, for example, like, I'll come to him and say, Sam, so when I go home right now, how can I take $5 grand, turn it to 25 grand? You know what I'm saying? And he started as
a trader.
Yeah, a trader. So he knows a little bit about it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a Jane Street trader.
On Wall Street too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
He's
at this company called Jane Street. Yeah.
Yep. So he'll just tell me like things from before he came to jail of the stock trade, because he says it changes every day. But he'll just teach me, a couple things like, yo, you got to invest.
This comes up in prison a lot. Like whenever you're locked up, and it starts if you wear glasses, you're a marked man for giving all kinds of advice you're probably not qualified for. I mean, that's how it was for me. But if you're in for anything that's white collar at all, there's a reason why they call it crime college in the feds, because if you're open to providing advice, or if you want just to bond with people that you're there, you get asked a lot of advice. And the most common thing is, how can I get out there and make a lot of money but not break the law? What are some stock trading tips? And so you form these little cross-training groups like that. It sounds like SBF is falling right into that pattern in Brooklyn.
Think tanks.
Yeah, think that brain trusts. Yeah, it's very much like that. Like my experience was, I would go to the library every day, and the people that hung out in the library were also mostly people with glasses, because they wanted to spend a few minutes away from being asked questions that they were unqualified to answer. And so then we kind of formed a little group that said, hey, maybe we can, I don't know how to formulate the proper legal request, but you over there, you might. So we would get advice from each other and pass it around. And that kind of became our role within the ecosystem. And that's going to naturally happen in every unit. And it's interesting to see that, I don't know if it's in this clip or one of the other ones, that SBF is like, he's basically saying, hey, you know what, I'll help anybody that asks me, because it seems like that's within his personality, is to be helpful.
Is he teaching other people how to trade and stuff like that in jail, like other than you?
Yeah, like it was a couple guys, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple guys like Sam, if he's free, he's going to sit down at the table with his notebook open, and all you got to do is pull up and talk.
That's indicative of my experience as well. In fact, in Beaumont, we were talking to some of the people that were in charge of education department there to create a kind of a part of the education department that had a bunch of TVs, because there was so much interest in learning about options trading and day trading that they wanted to have like 3 or 4 TVs up that were tuned into all the financial news networks.
Dang.
Because you couldn't have a Bloomberg terminal or any other type of terminal with like Yahoo Finance to get the action. So there were dudes that would sit there kind of as a public service to everybody else that was interested in learning about finance, that would just sit there and watch the ticker go across.
Yep.
And they would keep a notebook that was just the prices of like the stocks that we were watching as a group. And they would do like basically fantasy trades. Like, okay, you start the quarter with $10,000 and, you know, you understand how an option works, or, you know, a covered call, or these other types of different financial concepts. And they would try to trade against each other and see who could do what with what.
Yeah, you were wondering how Sam ended up in your unit.
First of all, this is my first time meeting somebody like Sam that came to jail for crypto, period. So, you know, me being in the unit, boom, everybody put me on. You know, they let me know exactly.
So
what it is.
just to give some more context, he had just come out of SHU, which is a special housing unit where it's like when you've been disciplined for some reason. He'd been locked up for almost 4 years at the time when Sam got put in his unit. It's a small unit. There's not a ton of people in there, so it's understandable why he hadn't met a crypto person yet, both based on the time frame that he was locked up as well as the size of the unit.
In there, he did this. He stole money from such this, that. Allegedly, you heard? Allegedly.
He was convicted now, but yeah, we can still say allegedly.
I think, you know, I think it was a wrong conviction. Me personally, you heard? Like, really, like, it's a bunch of other things y'all need to worry about other than stuff like that.
I mean, we've kind of hashed that point of view that he's got there a few times already. So it's there's a lot of other like harmful to society things is what he's trying to say, and I don't totally disagree. That ought to be higher on the list of things to pursue for justice and societal benefit than people that were playing with cryptocurrency. Certainly for the disparity in sentencing.
Do you think it's because he's afraid of the rumors about dropping the soap, or do you think he just...
Oh, shit.
That's what I was wondering, man.
So the question came up because he's like being depressed right now. After his trial, this is how they got on the topic. He's been depressed. He hasn't been going to the showers. He hasn't been shaving or anything like that. And so Tiffany asks, what I have been asked myself in some shape, form, or fashion or context 1,000 times since I've been out is some variation on dropping the soap. You don't have to watch your ass when you're in the showers, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So this next clip, he's going to be talking about like the sorting hat of prison. Which is kind of when you're brought in, you're put with what's called your car. And G-Lock is describing this clip. He would probably be, kind of in that brain trust car that we've talked about that was in Beaumont, where it was kind of across the racial lines. But initially, you're just thrown in with anybody whose skin looks like yours.
The white guys, it goes with the white guys. It's just how it goes. Spanish people to Spanish people, black people to black people. So then when he came, it was started with being 3 of them. So this guy tattoos all over his
actually,
face. The
guy Carmon he's talking about was another noteworthy case in New York City. If you Google it, it was a cop that was notably involved in some CSAM type situation, had an immense amount of material on some digital device and got caught. So it sounds like a lot of what he was in the unit for was not just notable cases, but also what they call a dropout yard, which is kind of where you put people that might otherwise be targeted. And then so this story, if he does the full story he's talking about, is when they got their 3rd white guy in the unit. Basically, Sam had to be kind of paired up with this guy that was a child predator because that was the only other white guy that was there. And then the 3rd guy that came in, he's about to say, is a neo-Nazi.
These is like, for me, I'm a different kind of, for me, I'm a rapper. His shit looks scary. You know, like he got some big, crazy shit. But he's chilling with Sam and this guy every day, on Carmine every day.
Really? Like still?
Huh? No. He left.
Okay.
We had to beat him up. You know? Nah, for real, we had to. He was wild.
Yeah. So the rest of the story, it takes a long time for him to get into, but the rest of the story was this neo-Nazi guy that they brought in, or that was sent into the unit, came in and came up to Carmine, the cop, and just started like dry humping him in the middle of the unit, and Sam's. It's the only time that Sam apparently laughed the entire time. Was he was just like paralyzed with laughter at this weird scene in front of him, and that was it.
And Sam was laughing. Sam is hard to get. It's hard to get Sam to laugh. Yeah. I've seen him laugh a few times when we're making like dirty jokes.
Right.
Sam has a sick sense of humor, and I like that about Sam because I have a sick sense of humor too.
Right.
Sam's favorite TV show is BoJack. Yeah, hell yeah.
Do you like BoJack?
BoJack Horseman is
I've never
TV
watched
show.
BoJack Horseman.
I never finished it, but it's a phenomenal show. It's so good.
Is it?
I love it.
Okay. Well, you and Sam, you love it.
Oh yeah, never mind. No, it's good. It was good when I watched it. I didn't finish it. I don't know how it hold up, but
It's like dark humor. I haven't actually watched it, but he's told me he
Yeah,
gives me
check it
like
out.
play-by-plays of.
I think matter of fact, just for you, Sam, I'm checking that out today, Sam.
We're watching
That's
BoJack
me.
Horseman.
Yep.
Maybe we'll watch an episode together.
It's lit.
But basically, because of this guy was causing too much trouble in the unit and getting physical with other people, they had to beat the crap out of him because they're trying to keep some level of civility, I guess, some level of because all the high-profile people there, they didn't want. There was another incident where someone tried to extort SBF that made the news as well, and they wound up disciplining him as well.
Like Sam is like getting pressured by this guy, you know, named Juice. So he's getting pressured by him. And one day, my good friend Gene, our friend Gene, you know, he was also incarcerated with us. You feel me? Gene is telling the guy, Sam, like, yo, this is a good unit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody here's high profile, so you don't really got too much to worry about, you know. And the guy's trying to have Sam under pressure. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to have him like scared.
Yeah.
It's a small unit. You feel me?
Basically, like to extort him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, Gene, yo, Sam. Juice call him and you know, they come over there and he starts telling Juice starts telling Gene like, yo, like stop chilling with him. Like people are so stupid, you know, like instead of sitting down and actually have an intelligent conversation where you can actually learn. He told me things that I would never learn on average. I never went to school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I dropped out in 9th grade, like, you get what I'm saying? So for me to sit there and get that kind of knowledge from a, you know, MIT grad, it's like, shit. We miss you, Sam. I miss you, my boy, yo.
I miss Sam too.
Yeah. You know
I shouldn't say it on camera, but Sam's always been very kind to me.
There was a lot of that in this interview where they both had the same impression of Sam's personality. Like as an individual, you know, as someone who interacts with somebody else, like Sam was, you know, a good guy, like at least socially, you know, despite all like the weird, I mean, because he lived in this weird like polycule in the Bahamas where a bunch of the people that worked at FTX were having sex with each other and this other stuff that came out. But like it was, and so like, I guess that kind of got spun into, you know, he's a strange dude that was into, basically created a sex cult that scammed people for billions. But like, you know, I just think that it was, you know, it was interesting to see both Tiffany and G-Lock's read on Sam be almost identical. You know, in two wildly different contexts, they have the same read on him as a person, which wasn't the read that I had from him. He presented a completely different persona on stage and on Twitter. So I would not have pegged him as the guy who is, you know, a gentleman and a scholar based on, you know. But you know, internet personalities are different from reality, I suppose.
just wanted to say I like G-Lock. Let's get him. G-Lock, if you're watching this.
Yeah, I mean, he might actually be watching, if he's not watching live, he might be watching some version of this that comes out while I'm in Denver, because he reached out to me. I say he reached out to me. I think I subscribed to his, I just followed him on Instagram after seeing this. And
Do you know what's his Instagram? Got it up right here.
You got it? Okay, there you
go. His profile picture.
Yeah, he changed it. It was something else yesterday. So
Yeah, I mean, he probably realized what he's got with,
for sure.
but I want to hear his music. Shit.
Yeah,
Also, Tiffany Fong, if you need a production company, I mean,
For sure. We'd love to do something.
Pump up those angles for you.
Yeah. You're watching The Merge, business, finance, and tech news and opinion. We keep you up to date so you don't have to go out there searching for what's new. You can hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the TikTok subscribe, the Instagram subscribe. We're going to keep you up to date wherever you are.